All right, this is going to be a fairly quick review on the new Nosler Whitetail Country. So, as promised, you probably can't see it, but I did get a mic. Unfortunately, while I was trying to film this video outside earlier, I dropped the phone, and I broke the lightning connector. So, bear with the breathing here a little bit longer. I went out and I filmed the video. I wasn't very happy with the quality because you couldn't really hear what I was saying without a microphone. I also got the digiscoping adapter for my spotting scope, so I'm hoping if we can get some decent weather, I can get out and do some videos with that soon. Again, I did try and do this video outdoors so you could see the shooting. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out. It was a little windy, the video was shaky, and the audio sucked. So I want to do a quick review. I was really hoping I could shoot a deer with this year. As is often the case, I ended up taking my deer across the line in shotgun zone with a 6.5 Grendel AR pistol. So I did not get a deer with this. But I was kind of excited to try. I was very excited when Nosler came out with a little more affordable line of ammo. This is not a new design to Nosler, from what I understand. They produced these probably 70s, 80s, somewhere around there. I know I'm old, but that was still before my time. But I'm kind of glad to see them go back to something a little more basic, something that the average guy can use. And I will tell you that overall, I was extremely impressed with this ammo. So accuracy was outstanding. I'll show you some pictures that I took through the spotting scope, and we'll kind of talk about some of the positives and negatives. I did have one bullet I couldn't get to chamber, so I'll talk about why I believe that is, and we'll kind of go over some of it. I'll show you in the rifle that it didn't work, and that really surprised me. Nosler is known for just extremely consistent ammunition. So we'll go over kind of the loadings here quick. This is the case that comes in. Again, really nice case. I like it a lot. It stands up on the bench really well. You know, it's not Norma. These are my absolute favorite little packaging here that bullets come in. I actually keep, you know, some of these for every size bullet that I have. But again, as far as packaging goes, much more higher quality than some of it. The brass looks good. Everything looks consistent. Again, I did have a problem. I couldn't get this one bullet to chamber, which we'll talk about. Look at the box real quick. So 6.5 Creedmoor, 140 grain. This is what I could find in stock locally, not the caliber I wanted to test. Again, just a solid base bullet. So my understanding is that the solid base bullet was kind of the precursor to the ballistic tip. I am not a huge fan of the ballistic tip. It's very good at long range. It's just extremely soft up close. So my brother shot a couple deer with ballistic tips this year. They all died, as they should, but we had jacket core separation on pretty much all the bullets we recovered, and we had a couple that didn't penetrate very well. So this one should penetrate a little better without that big polymer tip. You got the chart done back here. I was kind of surprised they put the 0 at 100 yards, but I guess that makes sense since this is just a whitetail load and most whitetail are taken fairly close. Velocity 2650, so I did run my chronograph while I was shooting today, and I found that average velocity for me was 2,590 feet per second out of the Tikka with a 22-inch barrel. So definitely didn't quite reach the stated, but not too far off. Extreme spread was 67 feet per second. So not terrible, again, for factory ammo. Also not great, but again, I think people really kind of expect too much out of factory ammo. That's kind of on par with most of the other ammo I test. So we'll look at a couple options here. Again, they have a really nice website for it, and they have a bunch of different load options here. I think they really hit the bullet weight quite well. The only one I don't particularly love is the 270 130 grain. Again, this is a whitetail load. It's gonna create a lot of meat damage. I prefer something a little heavier, but in every line there's bullet weights I don't love. I know the American Whitetail, the 139 of the 7 mag is just ridiculously catastrophic on deer. And I know some people want that, but again, they offer a couple different weights here in 308, 30-06. And I think just across the board, they did a great job really selecting a good bullet weight for hunting whitetail deer. So forgive the shakiness here. I will go over the accuracy real quick. So I started off, I shot groups at 100 yards. That first group on the left, 3-shot group, was about 1.3 inches. That shot to the right was definitely me. I'm just learning this rifle. This is a new gun to me. So again, about 1.3. I then shot a 5-shot group on the right. I'm zeroed for 200. That's why the groups are between the dots. That 5-shot group was about 1.25. So again, not bad. But things definitely got better as I got a little more time on the gun. So I let it cool. I went out to 200 yards. And this is a 2-shot, just 2 shots at 200 yards. One is directly on the bullseye. One is about 1.25 inches below. I moved on from there. Again, I'm not zeroed for this specific bullet, but it's really close to the point of impact from the other one. I went out to the 300 yard. I shot 2 shots there. Again, I didn't want the barrel to get too hot. We got a snowstorm coming in. I had a bunch of work to do today. That first one fell just below the bullseye, about 3 inches. I held about an extra, I tried to hold an extra 3 inches. That second one was touching the bullseye. So again, just really consistent accuracy at 300 yards. Again, just I have absolutely nothing to complain about. Again, especially for a new rifle. I guess I can't tell you how well the rifle shoots, but I was happy. And this is my 4-shot group at 400 yards. So it is minute of on, nicotine pouch. Again, for just a lead tip bullet, that's really good accuracy. 6.5 Creedmoor is pretty easy to shoot. Again, you expect good accuracy, but again, for a budget line, this is definitely on par with like the Hornady American Whitetail and a lot of the other stuff that I shoot. And that was about 8 inches low left of the bullseye, which was fine. Again, I'm not zeroed for this. I wasn't adjusting the scope for it. So I thought I would try 1 shot at the 2 MOA target at 400 yards, and I was quite satisfied with the results. So overall, accuracy has been outstanding. I will show you here real quick. Like I said, I just had a weird problem with one bullet out of this. Give me 1 second here. All right, so here's just one round out of the box there. This is safe. I am pointing at a concrete wall. I'm very familiar with firearms. So every single bullet in the box was great. They go in, no problem, right? This is Tikka, really good action. Just wouldn't expect any issues. And then I got to one specific round here when I was about 2/3 of the way done shooting, and I just could not get this round to chamber, and I still can't. So they really surprised me. Again, Nosler's known for just really good, consistent ammunition. So I compared the bullets, again, the fired and the non-fired. I can't see anything that's off, right? My first thought was maybe the primer's sticking out the back. That's typically the case with hand loads if they won't chamber, and it's not. So it's not a primer issue. The nose is a little blunt just because I put it in and taken it out so many times, but I couldn't see anything on the bullet. I mean, there's just no real indication of why this round wouldn't chamber. So kind of came back to reloading, and I thought, well, if it's not the bullet jamming into the lands and it's not the primer sticking out, it's probably a headspace issue, and it turns out that's what it is. So I'll show you some just quick measurements here. This is a fired case from that box. We got 3.560. This is an unfired bullet from the box, and I measured the rest of these. They're all going to be right around that same measurement. 3.560. And when I grab the round that won't chamber, something is clearly off. So 3.566. So I don't know what happened. Pretty much all the fired cases. I can grab another random one here just so you guys can see, and I'm not trying to fill you full of crap. And again, I'm not putting Nosler down. That's definitely an anomaly. Man, them things are in there tight. Here's another fired one from today. 3.560. So I don't know what happened. That's very uncommon for factory load. Again, it's probably a newer run of ammo for them. I'm not putting Nosler down. The accuracy was just ridiculously good. They make really good quality ammo. That one really surprised me. I'm not sure, I guess, why that shoulder is off. But again, nobody's perfect, right? So overall, what are my initial impressions of this? Despite the fact I didn't get to shoot a deer with it, my initial impressions are extremely good. I'm happy that Nosler's producing something in more of the average price category. I paid $34 for this, so it is a little higher than the American Whitetail and the Norma, deer specific load. I don't remember the name of that. But the flip side is, especially for guys like me that reload, is you get to keep the Nosler brass, which again is generally extremely good, consistent brass. So that is definitely an upside. I'll probably be shooting more of this in different calibers just to get some extra brass for some practice loads. Overall, I mean, I'm going to give this probably 8.5, 9 stars out of 10. Again, the accuracy was just shockingly good. I was not expecting to shoot that well. This, again, is a new firearm to me. I'm not real familiar with it. This is shooting literally under MOA all the way to 400 yards out of a rifle that's probably got 40 rounds through it. So very good job to them. I like the bullet design. It should be a little tougher than the ballistic tip, which I like to see, especially since most people shoot deer up close. Some of the other reviews I've watched in the gel tests are kind of showing that as well. A little higher weight retention than ballistic tip, a little deeper penetration. And I think overall this is going to be a really good all-around bullet for them. So I am not sponsored by Nosler. I bought this with my own money. I'm not sponsored by anybody. This is my personal opinion only. I think this is going to be really good ammo, again, especially for guys that are looking for some Nosler brass and just looking to try out some different loads. I'm going to keep doing testing as best I can. It is the worst time of year in Minnesota. We get about 9 hours of daylight, generally not sunlight this time of year. We do have a heck of a snowstorm coming in the next couple days. So hopefully there'll be more videos soon. If you like the content, hit the like and subscribe button. Again, I'm just trying to put out honest, accurate information. I'm not affiliated with anybody in the industry. This gets a thumbs up from me. The accuracy is much better than I was expecting from not quite a budget line, but kind of a medium price line of bullets from a really good company. So if you have questions or comments, leave them below. If there's something else you'd like to see me test, let me know. I am trying to get some of the Barnes bullets with the Sierra Game Kings loaded in them. However, I could not find any locally in any of the calibers I own. I was kind of hoping to do a comparison between this and that. But again, overall, thumbs up. I hope everybody's having a great early winter and wish us luck the next couple days with the first great snowstorm of the year. Thanks for watching.